Alright, so I knew you wouldn't be satisfied with me just explaining how to turn a cube in one axis. I knew that you were going to ask, how do I turn a cube on all three axes? Right, so in this lesson, I'll show you how to do that. Right, so I'm not going to use the template. I'm going to draw my own template now. You are free to use the template that I've supplied on Gumroad. It is free, you can get it from there. I'm going to start fresh and draw a new template for myself. So let's do that. Remember we said that before you rotate a cube, we start with rotating a plane or a square. So I'm going to make a dot there, skip that one, and then make another dot, skip that one and make another dot, skip that one and make another dot. Now, a trick to make sure that you've got your dots in the right place is to draw a line from that one to that one, and it should cross over, and then from that one to that one, and it should cross over. If your dot does not cross over in the middle, it means that you've placed your dot in the wrong spot. So right, and then it's just a matter of copying and pasting that. Another telltale sign if your dots are in the wrong spot is that this side and this side should be parallel, and then this side and this side should be parallel as well. So they should be equally spaced from each other. Now let's move that 3 blocks up, or 2.5 blocks. Let's make it 2.5 blocks. Gosh, I'm gonna erase the dotted line so that we can see where it's the back of the cube. Oh boy, that should be solid line, that should be a solid line. Okay, so now we've got the cube rotated, or block rotated slightly this way. So you can see that it's not in line with our grid, but slightly off, because we have rotated in that direction. Now, I know some of you are gonna ask, so we've rotated in that direction. What if we want to rotate this same cube in that direction? Well, yeah. Let's complicate things then. So we do the usual what we do, and is divide the square, or that side, into halves, and then draw our circle in like so, and we do the same again. Right, let's change the color slightly and create a new layer. Right, so now you want to rotate this cube or this block in that direction, right? So let's move it up, skip that one, skip this one. Right, so it should cross and it should cross. Okay, that works. So let's draw that cube in, or a square in, like so. Right, now that block we've drawn, that square that we've drawn, is smaller than the current cube. All you need to do is just extend it a little bit and make sure that these two are parallel to each other, and the same here, and the same here. Right, and then remember we need to keep this line in line with what we've got currently. because we didn't turn it in this way, we only turned it in that axis. So we are turning it this way and not this way. So we need to make sure that it follows the previous lines. Right, and then we need to make sure that we follow the parallel perspective, parallel lines again. So this and this needs to be parallel, and this needs to be parallel. Okay, mine is a bit rough. I'll clean it up now. Right, so let's reduce the opacity on this one and redraw that on a new layer. Now, I bet some of you are going to say, but Riaan, you've only shown us this axis and this axis. What about this axis? How do we turn it on that? Well, it's simple. Really, by now, you should understand that it's simple. All you need to do is draw a cross in there, draw a cross in there, the usual thing, man. By now, you should understand this. So, and then a circle, and then we need to turn that square, or that, yeah, we need to turn the square there. So again, we make a dot there, skip this one, make a dot there, skip this one, make a dot there, skip this one, make a dot there, you know. And this should be parallel to that, and this should be parallel to each other. And then you just extend that again, like so, extend it, and then make sure that you keep everything parallel to the green lines now. Right, like so, so, and so. And then this line needs to be parallel to that. This line needs to be parallel to that. Okay, make sure that's parallel. You could also use your lasso tool, copy and paste that, and bring it down like that. And that way you absolutely make sure that it's parallel. Right, and let's clean that up again. So a new layer, same color, and boom. And it needs to be parallel to each other. These needs to be parallel. The same with these. These needs to be parallel to each other. And these needs to be parallel to each other. And that's how you turn a cube in isometric perspective. So now you should be able to turn the cube in that direction by using the same principles that I've shown you. You should be able to turn the cube in that direction by using the same principles. And the same is true for this. You should be able to turn the cube in this direction too, using the same principles that I've shown you. So understanding how to use this this template. This is why drawing cubes and circles in isometric perspective is vital. So if you understand this principle, where you have a circle within that plane, if you understand, if you can do this, you should be able to turn any cube in perspective. Now, why would you want to turn a cube in isometric perspective? Sometimes you want to have an object that's on a different rotation to your current object. Say for instance, you have a statue of a cube that's hollow. I'm just going to draw something stupid. So for instance, you've got this little object and it's standing on a little pedestal which is in isometric. So now you've got something that needs to be rotated in isometric perspective, and you have the tools to do that now. Just that's not a center. That bothers me so much. Let's correct that. So the center of mass should be there, and this pedestal should be there, really. All right, so let's have a look. So now you understand how to do that. Now, this could be anything. This could be on anything you want to draw and turning that in isometric perspective. So if you understand the principles of how to turn a cube, you should be able to turn anything else in isometric perspective. Remember, we said that cubes, spheres and cones, cubes, spheres and cones are the bases, the primitives of all other objects we draw. So we can have other objects in here that's based on these primitives, and you should be able to draw them in perspective by drawing a cube in isometric perspective. If you can draw the isometric cube in perspective by turning it in all of the axes, you should be able to use that cube and draw the object that you want to represent in perfect isometric perspective in that turned state. I hope I'm making sense. If I don't, please forgive me. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this lesson and that you've gained some knowledge on how to draw cubes, how to turn cubes in all of the three axes in isometric. See you in the next lesson.